Hi everyone, this is Board Games and Bourbon. I'm Glenn Flaherty, and right now I want to tell you about Roll and Cook, which is a brand new roll and write, print and play, one-page Euro game that you can play for free right now. And I think it's a lot of fun, so I wanted to show it to you. Now, I know it looks like there's a lot of information on this game, but it's not as bad as it might look. The idea of the game is that you are putting together recipes. You're going to roll these dice. You can see I rolled a 3, a 1, and a 1 here. You roll these dice, you write these down. These dice are going to give you different ingredients, and you can manipulate them in different ways to choose what you want, all with the long-term goal of creating recipes from the simplest to the most complex. The more of these recipes that you make, the higher points you're going to get. Easy is worth 1 point, but if you get all the way over here and create it many times, you get a +8, so actually it's going to be worth 9. All the way down here, this is worth 8, but you might get a +14. And you're kind of mitigating what the dice are, how you want to distribute it. You also have to decide when you want to pull the triggers. Even though there are 12 rounds in this game, 10 through 11 here, clocks in the day, you can only plate or make certain recipes at different times. So in round 1, you can't do anything, but in round 2, I can make 1 plate, and round 3, I can make 1. At the end, I can make 3. Now, to show you kind of how it plays out, I have this 3, I have this 1, I have this 1 that I rolled, and I wrote it over here, 3, 1, 1. Now, you're going to notice I'm using a red pen. It's going to be very easy to miss what your ingredients are if you use a black pen, which I've done. So, use something that's contrasting. I use red in this case, okay? Now, what I do with that 3 is I have the option. I can either choose an ingredient over here, which is a fish or a tomato. I have my options there. I could also come over here, choose one of these options. These are going to be available regardless of what round I'm in, whereas these are only available in that specific round I'm in. And then I can come down here. I can choose either that 3, I can choose this over here, or if I combine ingredients, like let's say I take a milk, and I take a salt at some point in the future, I can spend those to create something that's a little more severe, a more important ingredient. And important ingredients are going to help me make more complex dishes. There's also ways that I can modify my dice. I can get a +1 or -1 on my die one time, 1 to 6 on a die one time. I can re-roll, and here I can just pretend like I have a 4th die in the game. You do those once. There's also areas where you can just have wilds, and that really helps out. Ultimately, when you're done with 12 rounds, you're going to see where you fall on this chart over here. Are you a 1-star restaurant? Are you a 5-star restaurant? My golly me, that's not a Michelin star, nothing is. I played a few times. I'm falling between 2 and 3 stars, 54 points and 60 points. So to show you how to play it, I'll just use this 3, 1, and 1. So I'm going to kind of forecast what I'm going for. With a 3, I could get a tomato. Tomato would get me on the board early. This is a really good recipe. It's only worth 2, but I can keep getting bonus points right away. So it's 2, but if I make it 1 time, I get 1 point, which I'm down with. And for me, it's fun just to trigger the combo. So I might go for that. So I'm going to go ahead and circle this tomato. That looks good. A tomato will also need a potato. Tomato, potato. I'm going to use a 1 as well. I'm going to circle that one. So I've used a 3, I've used a 1. And kind of forecasting what I'm going to want to do in the future. It looks like a lot of my expensive ingredients are 1s, or use salts, I should say. So I'm going to use this one here, my last number 1. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to circle that salt. Now, all of those are available, but I can't make anything yet because I do not have a plate. So now it's on to the second time. The game moves pretty darn briskly, by the way. Okay, so I have a 6, I have a 3, and a 2. A 6, a 3, and a 2. Okay, first of all, I can go ahead and I can make this right now. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to cross this out. I'm going to cross this out. I'm going to make one of my plates. So I'm going to circle over here that I got this first plate made for a +1. Now that's going to be 2 + 1, so it's actually worth 3. Not bad. I haven't even used my dice yet. You can make as many plates as you want to, should you be available to do so. Ooh, good golly, Miss Molly. What do I want to do here? I have a salt. Let's aim for something. Let's aim for this over here. This requires a steak. And this has sauce, and I guess I'm making some fancy dish. How can I get steak? Okay, I'm going to take this 6 here. And instead of using something from my daily availability, I'm going to come over here to this number 6. I'm going to circle that steak. Now, once I circle it, it's not available to be retaken, but I don't have to direct it into a recipe right away. I need to get sauce made. So a mystery ingredient, which can be anything. I need a bag and a flour, I assume, and I need some butter. With a 3 and a 2, not going to help over there. With a 2, use my 2, I can get my bag here. I guess I'm making a roux. And 3, I need to get butter. I need butter, huh? Well, I'm going to go for diversity. I'm going to go right there. Okay, and that was it. Setting the stage. Okay, now we're into round 3. I, again, can make one more dish here. Let's see what we're doing here. A 6, a 5, and a 3. Now, I am using my 6, 5, 3. I am using my print and play group die. Let's see what we can do here. I need to get that butter. Butter's not on the menu. Butter's not on that menu unless I get another wild here. But how do I make butter? Butter, I need to use that and salt. Okay, so check it. What I'm going to do is this. I am going to, at this moment, use this here. I'm going to use my salt. That gives me these 2 ingredients. It gives me what I think is my milk and my salt. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to claim a butter. Okay, butter brings me there. I am going to use my flour, my butter and my flour, and then I need a mystery ingredient. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, I don't think I've even used these yet. I have my steak. I already took my steak. There. I need a mystery ingredient. Why don't we just go ahead and add fish? Because who cares? I'm going to use my 6 here. And instead of taking something from my row, I'm going to go over here, grab my mystery ingredient. So now I have my mystery ingredient. I have my milk, my butter, and now I can make my sauce. I made my sauce. My sauce and my steak are available. I'm going to cross off my sauce and my steak. And now that'll let me plate my 1 item for this round. I did that previously. And I'm going to get this. So now steak and sauce is normally 4, but I have a +1. So that's actually going to be 5 points. If I can get this all the way up there, I'm really going to be kicking it. At some point, I'm going to get 8. At some point, I'm going to get 10. And then at some point, I'm going to get 14 points there. I've crossed off a lot of stuff. But I still have a 5 and a 3 left.